I want to talk about the thing that stops most people before they even start the Amazon influencer program. It's the money part. Specifically, spending your own money on products to review when you don't know yet if any of this is going to work. I get it. I really do. You're 50, 55, 60 years old. You're not in the phase of life where you throw money at experiments and shrug if it doesn't pan out. You want to know there's a real return before you spend a dime. So here's what I want to show you today. So I've got all of these products. I've got a whole pile of products over here. I didn't pay for a single item here. Every product here was sent to me by a brand, either because I asked or because they found me and sent it without me asking at all. And I've got a whole shelf of them over here and one over here too. Probably between $500 and $1,000 worth of products I didn't spend a cent on. And this is just a few days accumulation. Today I'm going to tell you exactly how that happens, including the part most people overlook that generates more samples than anything else I do. Quick note before we go further, the income results I share are my own and are not typical. Building income streams takes time, consistency, and effort. This is educational content, not financial advice. Some links I mention are affiliate links, and I may earn a small commission at no cost to you. And when you do use my links, it really does help support this channel, so I genuinely thank you for that. I'm Valerie. I'm 62. I live in a camper on 18 acres in rural South Carolina, and I've been doing the Amazon Influencer Program since September of 2025. So, less than a year. I make short videos about products people are already buying on Amazon, and I earn commissions when they watch my video and buy. That's the baseline. But if you've been following along with this channel, you heard me last week talk about what I got wrong in every major chapter of my life. And one of the things I got wrong with online income years ago was thinking that trying a little counted as actually trying. This time, I'm actually trying. I have over 1,400 videos on Amazon. I've made about $9,000 this year. And one of the biggest reasons I've been able to build this without spending a fortune on products is a process most people don't talk about. Subscribe if you want to follow along in real time. I'm not teaching from the mountaintop. I'm on the same path as you. And I'll tell you what I find as I find it. Let me start by clearing something up because I see this confusion a lot. When people think about doing Amazon Influencer, they imagine buying a pile of products, making videos, hoping enough people buy to cover what they spent. And yes, that is one way to do it. Some people build their whole library that way, but it's not the only way. And for most people starting out, especially if you're watching every dollar, it doesn't have to be where you begin. Here's what I did. My very first videos, probably the first 100, 150 videos, were things I already owned. They were already in my house, already sitting on a shelf. I didn't spend a dime. If they sell it on Amazon, I reviewed it. I just picked something up, turned on my camera, and made an honest video about it. I already knew what the product was. I used it all the time. That's it. That's where you start. And then something interesting happens when you have a library building. Eventually, brands start noticing because brands want their products reviewed. They're actively looking for creators who make consistent videos on Amazon. And when your library is big enough, you become findable. That's where requesting samples comes in, and it's simpler than it sounds. I research a product before I reach out. I use Viral View to look at the data. That's the software I use. How many sales per month, what the revenue looks like, how many other influencers are already on the product carousel. Because Amazon decides which videos show up on a product page. And if a carousel is already packed with influencers and there's some waiting, I'm competing for visibility before I even make the video. Once I've identified a product worth making, I reach out to the brand. I introduce myself. I have a little template in Viral View. It's very easy. I mention my storefront, ask if they'd be willing to send a sample in exchange for a product review on Amazon, a shoppable video. about 10% of brands say yes. Because from their perspective, they're getting a video on their product at the cost of 1 unit. So, this one right here, I found it on Viral View. I looked at the numbers, I reached out, it showed up a few days later. That's the whole process. But here's where it gets even more interesting. And I think a lot of this is coming from my YouTube channel as well, which is really easy to do with Viral View. So don't even get upset about that. But like this product right here, I didn't even ask for it. It just showed up. They found my storefront. They saw I was making videos in their category consistently. They emailed me, got my information, and here's the product. It's a rice cooker. It's cool. Either way, I didn't initiate it. When that starts happening, it means your library is working. Brands are coming to you instead of waiting to be asked. And that's not luck. That's the result of 1,400 videos doing their job. Now let me show you a few of these samples here that I've received. I've only got a few out right now, but I recently received this one, a DVD player. I've got a pack and play knockoff over there. I've got this foot cream. A different mix. Household stuff, pet things, a couple of beauty items sometimes. Random categories, because I've built a pretty wide library at this point. And when you have 1,400 videos across a lot of categories, you attract a lot of different brands. And they agree to send you stuff. I get craft stuff. I get, pet stuff. I get all sorts of stuff. Cleaning stuff. And here's the thing I want to make sure I say clearly, because I think it matters. Samples are a perk. They are not income. I can't pay a bill with a face wash or a dog toy. What converts samples into income is making the video, getting it up, and having people buy the product through my link. The sample just lowers my cost of doing that. Instead of spending my own money on products, brands cover that cost, which means more of what I earn goes straight to me instead of being reinvested. And when you combine that with Creator Connections, which is the bonus program on top of Amazon commissions, and that's where the money is, I've talked about that in other videos. Brands often run campaigns specifically for products that they're also sending samples for. So you're getting a free product and a bonus commission rate on top of the regular commission. That combination is where the numbers start adding up in a real way. Here's the part most people skip. And honestly, it's my favorite part of this whole process. I use Viral View to track my brand deals, when samples were requested, when they arrived, what videos I owe and to whom. Without that, I would be completely buried. Some brands follow up before the product even arrives, which tells you something about how motivated they are to see that video get made. But Viral View also lets me set up brand notification templates. When a video is complete, I can send a message to the brand automatically. Most people either skip this entirely or they send a basic "your video is ready" note. My template does something extra. It thanks the brand. It lets them know the video is live and ready for their customers. I also include the YouTube link, and that's through Viral View as well, and asks if they have other products they'd like for me to feature, and mentions that I'd love to work with them again. One extra paragraph, that's it. And that single addition has gotten me more samples than almost anything else I do. Because brands like working with creators who communicate professionally and who reach out like a real business person. Most creators, or many creators, I won't say most, but many creators make the video and they disappear. When you follow up, that stands out. So, how do you get to this point? I know some of you are watching this thinking that's great for her, but she has 1,400 videos. I'm just starting. Well, here's the honest answer. You start with what you own. You don't need samples on day one. You don't need to spend money on day one. You need a phone, a product sitting in your house, and the willingness to make a review video about it. Just talk about the product, what you like, what you don't, how you use it, demonstrate it if that's applicable. That's the whole entry point. From there, you build a library. I didn't start with 1,400 videos. I started with one. As your library goes, you get accepted into Creator Connections as you earn that first commission. As your numbers grow, you start requesting the samples, and like I said, about 10% will say yes. You'll get some no's, you'll get no answers. Don't even worry about that. And then one day a package shows up that you didn't ask for, and you realize things have shifted. There's no shortcut to that shift, but there is absolutely a path. And it starts with whatever is sitting in your house right now. If you want to check out Viral View, my affiliate link is in the description. Use code Valerie10, Valerie 10 for 10% off. Using my links genuinely helps this channel, so I do appreciate it. So that's it. I get somewhere between $500 and $1,000 worth of products, every week or two. I didn't spend a cent on it, from brands who either responded to my outreach or found me on their own. It doesn't feel like a flex to me. It feels like evidence that the system works. Every item here is a video I'm going to make, a commission I haven't earned yet, a brand relationship I'm going to follow up on professionally. That's what building a library actually looks like in real life. It's not glamorous. It's not a haul show. Just a table full of work that's going to turn into income. I like that. If you're just starting out and the money piece has been holding you back, I hope this helped. You don't have to buy your way into this. You start where you are and you build from there. That's what I did. Tell me in the comments, are you getting samples yet, or are you still in the early stages of figuring this out? I remember exactly what those early stages feel like, and I'd love to know where you are in this. Stay close. You're not done yet, and neither am I.